Getting some new and extremely depressing details of what Biden is going to do moving forward with healthcare. So, of course, during the campaign, he ran on a public option. That has been nowhere in the discussion. What they were talking about doing in this next big package was to use savings from negotiating with pharmaceutical companies, something that almost every president talks about doing because it would be dramatically, saving for taxpayers and for consumers, but never for whatever reason ends up doing it. So they were going to use the money from negotiating directly with drug makers in a way that every other country does, and they're going to apply that to expand, potentially either go with maintaining the subsidies in the Affordable Care Act or lowering the Medicare age. Well, it looks like, just like every other administration before them, they have decided not to negotiate with drug makers. This is great reporting from Jeff Stein, of course. Despite pressure from Democratic leadership, White House officials also prepared to table a measure they'd included in earlier drafts aimed at reducing consumer and government spending on prescription drugs, a measure fiercely opposed by the pharmaceutical industry. It's interesting. This whole piece, Jeff always does a phenomenal job. Whole piece is worth reading. He goes through some of the people who are pushing this on the Democratic side are floored that they're like, they literally don't understand why they're not doing it. Well, maybe this will give you some clues. One of Biden's top advisors, Steve Ricchetti, who is counselor to the White House, his brother is a longtime lobbyist and especially has deep ties in the healthcare and pharmaceutical industry. We just learned not too long ago, it's another great reporter, Brian Schwartz, from the disclosures that were recently filed, that Ricchetti has been lobbying the executive office of the White House.
Krystal. According to him, he has not lobbied his brother. Oh, so it's all good. He just lobbied his brother's aides.
Right.
So that's how they get the. He's
no corruption here.
As long as he's not spoken to his brother and he's just speaking to the people who work for his brother, then what's the problem?
Yeah.
And don't forget, the Steve Ricchetti, who actually co-founded this firm with Jeff Ricchetti.
Right.
Then he left the firm.
So
and
it's not like the two brothers are two totally different things. No, this was their firm together.
Yeah, this was literally their joint firm. And actually, so they lobbied for, I'll read a list of healthcare giants: GlaxoSmithKline, Horizon Therapeutics, Vaxart Inc. All of these, many of these people actually signed up after Biden won the 2020 election, not pre-existing clients, okay? And so you can see very clearly here about what is happening. Now, according to this, he's lobbied, including this, Brian Schwartz, the Council of Economic Advisors, National Security Council, the Office of Management and Budget, and he lobbied them on a wide range of topics, including on issues pertaining to COVID-19 antibody treatment. So the regulatory environment around COVID is a bonanza, in terms of dollars. You have the pharma industry talking about booster shots, talking about profits, vaccine IP, antibody treatment is a whole other one in terms of regulation, and it could be a gold mine. And that is what this person is lobbying on behalf of, like you said. I think even Trump, don't fact check me on this, talked about negotiating prices in terms of with the pharmaceutical industry. Basically, it's been a giveaway to the industry ever since Bush passed it, Medicare Part D. And ever since then, you basically have a thing where the government, the largest purchaser of drugs, is not allowed to negotiate its price, unlike any other network in the world. It just makes no sense whatsoever.
There is one reason for this. Profits. That's it. That is the only justification for this. At least with some of the other stuff, the patent stuff, they put on this patina of like, this is about we need the research and development. This helps protect our whatever. No, this is purely about profits and the fact that the Biden administration appears set, look, the negotiations are ongoing, we'll wait and see what happens, but appears set to table this proposal, just like every administration before them, just shows you how incredibly powerful this terrible industry is. There's another piece of news here that Jeff Stein got as well, which is, now, these two things shouldn't be mutually exclusive. There were the subsidies expanded for the Affordable Care Act passed in the relief bill. So they expanded subsidies so the Affordable Care Act health insurance would be actually affordable for more people. That's a fine thing. That's a good thing. So you have that on the one hand, and Pelosi and House Democratic leadership have really been pushing to use the healthcare dollars in this next bill to continue that expansion. On the other side, you have Bernie Sanders and now a growing list of other Democratic senators, including Dick Durbin, joining him in urging expansion of Medicare. That means lowering the enrollment age and also covering dental, vision, hearing. So again, you could do both of those things. You could maintain the subsidies and you could lower the Medicare eligibility age. However, the way this has been sort of the way the Biden administration is playing is that this is like an either or. We're going to do one thing in healthcare. We're either going to do this, we're going to do that. And it looks like they are set to back the Pelosi proposal. Now, why does that matter? Because obviously, if you're sort of like bolstering the Affordable Care Act, what you're doing is continuing to support the existing private health insurance system with all of its, horrible effects that lead to huge prices, lead to lapses in coverage, lead to millions of Americans being uninsured or underinsured, versus if you lower the Medicare age, you would start to be expanding the system of public health care. So in that particular fight, it looks like they are siding with Pelosi over Bernie. Color me super surprised.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Do you think it will still pass even with Manchin and all them?
No.
Yeah.
And
so
not just...
So even when they fight, they're fighting for something which is already moved.
I mean, look, and that we'll get into that more.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as much over these healthcare provisions since they're already giving pharma, I mean, the health insurance industry loves the extra support for the Affordable Care Act. This guarantees them more customers. This is a bonanza for this is great for them. So the Pelosi proposal is no issue for them. Obviously, they'll be delighted if the pharmaceutical piece gets stripped out. These pieces aren't the issue in terms of passage because they're all completely corporate friendly. The issue will be, I think, on the tax hikes and on expansion of childcare and pre-K and free college. I think those pieces will make this all very difficult to pass, but we'll see.
There we go.
More Rising for you after this.